Okay guys, this is just going to be a short lecture. Now I've taught many people how to do this, and normally when people come back to me and say your formula doesn't work, Alan, it's for one of two reasons. The first and most obvious one is they have entered the formula perfectly, but then they've just hit enter rather than control shift and enter, and we know that if we just hit enter on an array formula we get a value error. Now you can't actually see the error there because we've now got this error trap in, but to make an array formula work it's always control and shift and enter, then it works perfectly. Now the next thing they do, what we've actually done with our data is we've started the data up in cell A1. So we've got no headings, or we've got headings, we've got no titles in our spreadsheet. We've literally just started the data, bump straight at A1 and gone all the way down. So when someone looks at this, if they're aesthetic, they may look at this and say, do you know what, I wish I had a title in there. So they will insert a blank line and they will start their data at line 2, or maybe they'll insert 2 lines, insert, and they'll have a title in there, just as we have in previous lectures. Now if we insert a line here, we can see that this formula is adjusted and now starts with row 2 2, then row 3 3, then row 4 4. So the first thing we need to do is correct the row number, so that will still be 1 to 1. We can hit Control Shift and enter, and there you go. So now we have number 1 and we can drag that down. So we now have 6, 13 and 15. But if we look at our data, what we actually have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th value is actually Imogen. So then we go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can see that the value now is Connor. 14, 15, we now have a blank cell. So we're actually looking at the right row, because we know we're looking at row 1 and we're looking at row 2 and row 3. But what we've done by inserting this new line is we've moved the cell down 1. So 6 is actually, there we go, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, where Luca is 6. We've actually added 1 to each of these values, and it's now picking up the cell after Luca in each instance. So what we need to do is make an adjustment at the end, because we've inserted 1 line and this is returning a row number. We want to say -1 and Control Shift and enter, and then we copy that formula down, Control and D, and there you go. Now we get the right answers again. So we start our data here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's our first Luca, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, there's our second Luca, 13, 14, and there's our third Luca. So if you insert 1 line, you must adjust this section of the formula to subtract 1. If you insert 2 lines, you must add a -2 to correct this number here. Okay, so with our main formula, what we're going to do is do exactly the same thing, because we've inserted 1 line in here. What we need to do is adjust for it and come to the end of our row number, just here, this row 1 to 1, and hit -1, because our data now starts on the second line. And obviously if you inserted 2 blank lines at the top, you would hit -2. So Control, Shift and enter. So there you go, that's how you correct that. Okay, now in the next lesson we're going to have a look at a quick shortcut to save having to keep modifying those column numbers. So I'll see you in the next lecture.